So, hello everybody, welcome back. So, I wanted to talk to you right now about unexpected related, things related to hyperinflation. And, you might be wondering how the hell, or whatever, but here is the deal. For this particular video, since you are very likely not experiencing hyperinflation, and I hope to God you're not, then you might need to put yourself in kind of my shoes, but the thing is that it's extremely difficult to put yourself in the shoes of someone when you don't understand the root of the problem. And quite frankly, economists do not, they know how this system kind of works or whatever, but they don't know the root of the problem and things like that. So I'm going to make 2 videos about this, very likely. I don't know, maybe like sometimes I think about 3 videos. But here is the deal. So, I want you to please, bring a paper and a pencil or a pen, color, I don't know, whatever you want. And it will take you 3 minutes. And yes, I am a teacher, but no, I'm not grading you. So, no, there is no wrong or right answer. I just want you to do something, and then you might get my point. Okay? So, ready? Okay. So, I want you to write down in the middle of the page the word money. And then, take a deep breath, and then put a chronometer or something for the 3 minutes, okay? Because, you don't need more than 3 minutes. And then I want you to think about all the words that you, particularly you, associate with money. So if you associate money with power, you put power. If you think that money is the root of all evil, you put the root of all evil. Whatever the hell you think money kind of is, or words that you associated with that, it will be a good exercise for you. And after that, you come back. Please do not continue watching this video until you have done this, because otherwise, you are probably not going to get it. And if you don't get it, then you are not going to probably understand how to roll with hyperinflation and try to roll with it in a proper way. And then you're probably going to have an even harder time than anybody else, and oh hell, your mind will go crazy. So, ready? Okay, I'll wait. Good. Now, before we continue, I want to remind you that down below is my email in case that you want to help me out by sending an Amazon gift card. Thank you very much. I also have some books that I'm working on, and they are in this page that is finally working, and everything is fine. By the way, it worked itself out and everything is fine. So anyway, here I go. What did you write down? Well, very likely a lot of people, not necessarily you, but, very likely people put there, money is associated with power, currency, shopping, debt, and, use exchange, and basically, work and stuff like that, right? Right. So I have a small question. Did you put down anywhere into those lines the words national identity or the word identity? Did you? Oh hell, if you did, oh hell, you are ahead of everybody else. If you didn't, then you are kind of like, you are rolling with it, but you are doing things that are implied, and you're doing them wrong. So I'm going to explain this. You know how certain things, you go to a place and whatever, and there are things that are implied. Nobody has to tell you because they are implied. And nobody will ever stop to explain something to you that is already implied. And hell, implications, they are the root of most of the problems that we have in our world. And I don't mean problems. I don't mean money. I mean problems, meaning that, problems you cannot fix with money. Now, here's the deal. The implications with money are related to national identity, and they are also related to your identity. Whether you like it or not, or whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter, because here is the deal. Long time ago, like in the beginning of time and things, people traded things for others, right? And then, people figured that there were things that you were trading that were not, fair. For example, if let's say that you are a farmer, and then, you only get fruits in 1 month of the year, and then the rest of the year, what the hell are you going to live? And stuff like that. So there were a lot of troubles when you don't have some sort of system that will work equally for everyone. And then people created coins. They were made out of metal, and they were minted, and they were distributed among people based upon, lords and stuff like that. And then they were related to, a national monarchy, or, whatever. And then they were related to the government. But that's the thing, each country, not each nation, each country will have its own kind of currency. It's very, very, very important. It's something that distinguishes them from everybody else. Now, it also allows them to identify themselves in an international market. Okay? So you have two parts of this currency thing. The part that goes, to your local market, as in, you trade that currency in here, in your country. And then there is a part in which you trade the currency for other countries, because everybody thinks that, your value as a country is high. And your relationship with trading and commerce and stuff like that is high. And therefore, they will value your currency, because they are expecting to return to do businesses with you. So if they don't expect you to come back like never, then they will probably not go to a currency, but they will probably go to something like gold or silver or something like that, which is kind of like a universal thing. But since most people will just, think or assume that you're going to do businesses all the time, then they pick one of the currencies, the one that has, more power, value, and stuff like that, and then they will do businesses with that. That is an identity. You can't go, for example, and, let's say that all of the commerce in the world is done by the euro, okay? Because most people are already in business with Europeans, right? But let's say that all of a sudden each country of the European Union decides not to be in the euro area or whatever. So basically, now if you want to do business with Italy, you will need to go to the local currency for that country. But if you do not know if you're going to go back and see and, do things with Italy, because, whatever, you're thinking, I don't know, they're changing government, whatever, so no, I'm not buying in the currency because I don't know if I can trade it later or whatever. That is an identity, because I can identify that this country is like a person. I'm dealing with them and I don't like it, or I'm not dealing with them anymore, or whatever. And the thing is, like, think of this process kind of like a changing households, owners. Kind of like the house will stay, meaning the country will always be the same, but the leaders or the household owners and stuff will be different. And the people that you have to deal with are the household owners, meaning the politicians. Now, does that mean that the politicians are the ones that determine the value of the house? No. The value of the house is determined because of location, because of several things, So certain countries, no matter what you do, you will always need to do businesses with them. For example, in Panama, They have like the big canal thing, and you can't go through the oceans, without going through there. So even if you don't like the government there or whatever, their currency is kind of like, their currency can be a strong currency if they wish to have a strong currency, because they will need to have that all the time, because it's like when you go to work. Let's say you work in a hospital, and you need to cross a bridge every day. Yeah, and you need to pay a fee every day. Yeah, and if they ask you gold for that fee, oh hell, you better have gold, because you need to cross that thing, right? Kind of like that. So the value of the currency is based upon two things: the image and the national thing for the government, and then the actual value for the resources and locations. That can change, but location, that one is not going to change very easily or whatever, but So, what does that mean for you in your daily life? Well, it means that your money represents you in the world, but it also represents what you do and why do you do it. So let me explain this for you. Do you think that the entire planet, and I do mean the entire planet, the whole human beings in the entire planet, will work for free? Do you think that all they want, do you think that your power will be on, and your water will be clean, and the water pumps that drain the systems and stuff, they will be clean, and they will be everything just for free? Right. So why do people work? People work because they are expecting a payment. Now, that payment, I want to ask, who the hell values or gives value to that money that you have in your hand? See, if you don't know who the hell has that value, or why do you ask for that money, then you are in big trouble, because you are kind of just rolling with the system. But the problem is that if somebody changes that value all of the suddenly, whatever you have will be worth nothing. So let me explain this to you. In the 1950s, 60s or something, I've said this before, my country had one of the strongest currencies in the entire planet. I do mean that. People from Indonesia, China, oh hell, people from Africa, people from all over the planet were buying Venezuelan bolívares. And it was very expensive to get Venezuelan bolívares. Oh hell. And people expected to get that money to retire, meaning it was an investment, meaning everybody wanted to make the American dream in the US and in Venezuela. So you wanted to go to the US for progress and stuff like that, but if you wanted adventure and life and exotic things, and living a life that is like an Indiana Jones kind of thing, oh hell, you chose Venezuela. So, by the way, you can still choose Venezuela for an Indiana Jones kind of thing. It's just that this one is going to be kind of like a war kind of Indiana Jones. So anyway, point being that people believed in the currency. People believed in the value of the currency. People believed in that. But then, the government changed, and as soon as the government changed, the entire, approach, as in tourism, as in education, and a lot of things, oh hell, that went out of the window. And it never came back, by the way. We don't know where the hell it is. But the point is that, people were wondering, okay, so what do we do now? Because the value that we have, that was given due to our personality, sort of speak, because lack of a better word, it was destroyed. So now, if you had Venezuelan bolívares, basically you had nothing. You needed to go and buy something else. So most people went and bought US dollars instead of Venezuelan bolívares. Same thing happens, when you are inside the country. What happens is, for example, let's say that you are, in Japan, and all of a sudden the government starts acting, I don't know, weird. And the Japanese people are kind of like, what the hell? This money is not going to be worth anything or something. And some people start thinking, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to collect my salary in Japanese yen. I don't want it. So you need to pay me my salary in dollars or in euros. And then, all the people go like, okay, if that guy is doing that, there is a reason. So everybody, let's say that, a quarter of the country, all of a sudden, call their bosses and say, hey, do not pay me, in Japanese yen. I don't want them anymore. What do you think will happen to the economy? Yeah, it will go nuts. Because of course, if you are, selling all of your Japanese yen because you don't want them, then every time that you get payment in those things, you will change them. And you will be desperate to get rid of them because to you, they are worth nothing. To you, that is not money. That you can't trust. That is a problem. And this is the deal. Bills, like the actual bill, the paper, they have historical people in them. There is a reason for that. There is a reason why in the US the bills are, Washington and, all these people that are very, very important. Because you need the physical money to have an image that relates to values, that relates to hard work, that relates to adversity, you overcoming adversity. You need money to be related to rules that you believe are yours. Try to imagine if in the US bill, instead of George Washington, you will have, I don't know, let's say, someone from a European thing. Let's say Pablo Picasso, because he's a great artist. And everybody in the US loves Pablo Picasso, so now the bills are Pablo Picasso. What do you think that will do to the image that people have in their heads about their national identity? It will go to hell. Because everybody will think, yeah, I want to go to Spain to be with Pablo Picasso. Yeah, everybody in Spain is better than us and stuff like that. So, oh hell. So that's why you need to be, careful about who the hell you're picking for the bills. And that's why you really, really need to come up with some sort of way to make people absolutely relate to these, bills. And so that they can trust them. This is done through images, coloring, and stuff like that. But mostly it's because, you trust the fact that there is someone behind this that I can, hold accountable kind of thing. If you can't hold them accountable or something, it will go to hell. Now, in the entire planet, the whole history of the coins and the currencies is different. And of course, because, each country has its own rhythms and things. But here's the deal. They all have names that are not necessarily related to their history. So let me explain this. You don't call the US dollar Washington, right? You don't call them like that. You just go like that. You say US, which is the name of your country, and then dollars. Same goes for Australia, Canada, and other places, right? They call dollars and that's it, By the way, the funny story about the dollar thing is that, it was created. Nobody knows if it was, the name, where the hell did that came from entirely, and the symbol. But anyway, point being that, it's insane because you don't know where the hell that name came from. Most people cannot, even tell you exactly what the hell. But my country is entirely different. See, I'm going to divert a little bit here to explain to you why my country is going to probably go to even deeper hell, and I have no idea how the hell we're going to get out of here. And the reason for that is that we have everybody can relate to Napoleon, right? I mean, there was this guy who was European, and he did a lot of things to liberate people and stuff like that, and even even the Alexander the Great and stuff like that, right? Yeah, they were European, and they were kind of like, big boys kind of adventure thing. Yeah. Except for the fact that now I want you to think about a Latin version of them. The Latin version, oh hell, it will be like, think of a 2-year-old with the same power of these people have. And then, in the sense that, think of them as age kind of appropriate thing, right? I mean, Alexander and the other one, it's like they are teens, preteens or something. But oh hell no, Bolivar is like a 2-year-old who happens to have all of these powers because he has this body that he can make himself bigger and stuff, and he's a 2-year-old in his head. Meaning, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and yet he's doing it. Because he believes in what he's doing. And not only that, but he's studying to do whatever the hell he's doing, even though he doesn't know what he's doing, because he is not a politician. Politicians kind of know what the hell they are going into and who the hell they have to deal with, and they kind of know who to trust and all these things. Bolivar doesn't, because he's not a politician. So it's like, okay, you go into a game and you're supposed to be like, playing, and you don't know the entire rules. All you know is you want to play and you want to win, and you have no idea how. Yeah, kind of like that. So basically, he did things that nobody else could have even think about doing, because he didn't have the limits that all of the other guys had. Because the other guys were actually kind of politicians, but he wasn't. So it's kind of like that gives you an edge, because when you don't know that you can't do something, you do it because you don't know that you can't. So it's kind of like that. So in this particular scenario, Bolivar said that he wanted to free all the continent, and I do mean all the freaking continent of America from the European things, especially from Spain, but all from the Europeans. Because he figured, you're big and we're small and we do not need to play together or something. But the thing is that in Venezuela, particularly, he fought 5 groups that wanted to be with him, meaning they wanted to have the freedom from Europe. But all of them had different ways to go about it. It's kind of like you have 5 different ways to get from point A to point B. And each one of them wanted to have one way, and that's why we were having so much trouble. And at this particular point, Bolivar, he liberated a lot of countries, okay? And I do mean a freaking lot of countries. In fact, it was so huge, the success that he had, that if you go to the US, there are places that are going to be called Bolivar. If you go to, Europe, you will find places that are called Bolivar. If you go to all Latin countries, you will always find a place that is called Bolivar. And my currency is called Bolivar. And the reason for the reason why everybody, agreed that the name had to be Bolivar is because the 5 groups that were fighting with him, they hated each other. Think of a family of, think of a family of 6. 5 of them are kind of like, I hate 4 of you. I can't stand you. The only one that I trust is him because he's not a politician and because he's weird. Yeah, that one will be Bolivar. So everybody agreed that if they were going to give value to something, it had to be the Bolivar. It couldn't be any coin because nobody. I mean, there were those that wanted to do the coin name for dollar thing, and another's peso, another's, oh crap, there was like a whole new name things, and each group values something else. So like the historical roof, and it was just insane. So they said, oh no, hell no, we're calling everything Bolivar because that's the thing. That's the only thing that we agree upon. We trust him. Now, the thing is that Bolivar wasn't complete. And he failed. And you might be wondering, what? Yes, he failed. You see, there was the struggle of the 5, like I said, 5 groups that are insane. And they all want their opinion above everybody else. And Bolivar couldn't choose. He just didn't. I swear to God, sometimes I think, oh my God, if I was in his position, I would have run. Kind of like, he didn't run, but he kind of died. So he didn't finish. So he didn't finish selecting what was the value that was supposed to, stand behind the country and behind the currency. He didn't pick. He didn't say it. And so people believed in him, but now people, when time passed and passed and passed, people now are kind of like, there is no Bolivar. Bolivar died. So if he died, then why don't we have this kind of currency? Because the 5 groups are still present in my country, even though people don't know it. We don't have racism in here. Oh hell, if you're black, white, gay, whatever, we don't care. We could care less. Can you party? Yes, then that's it. That's all we need to know. Do I like you? Yes, then that's all I need to know. Do I hate you? Oh hell, yes I do. Oh hell, that's all I need to know. So, it's kind of like that with us. So we have 5 groups that are not racism or anything like that, but the 5 groups are kind of like, power is mine. No, it's mine. No, it's mine. No, Bolivar wanted me. No, he wanted me. No, he wanted me. No, he wanted me. No, he wanted me. So the 5 groups are fighting like hell to be the whole thing behind Bolivar because he couldn't make it. Now, do Venezuelans know right now that thing, happened? Oh hell no, because it's a historical thing that happened in the 18th century. What the hell? That happened, that happened over 200 years ago. Nobody, hell. If you ask Venezuelans, where the hell is Venezuela, they will probably not even know. Because, we are like, I have said this before, we are like a 2-year-old that knows everything and knows nothing. Yeah, kind of like that. So, so it's insane. So the thing is that those groups, their energy, their personality is still present. So the 5 groups are not fighting for power. And when that happens, of course, if you don't agree to support the Bolivar value, then of course the Bolivar is going to go to hell. Because some people will like the US better. So they actually want the US dollar to be, present here at all time. Other people are kind of like, no, we need a Latin currency. So we need something like a new kind of currency that is all Latin, kind of like a euro. And then there are others that, oh crap, like I said, 5 groups, they are different. And no, not even Venezuelans will know what the hell. But, in case that you're wondering, it's because of a book that is called The Revolution of 1918. 12 or 16, I can't remember. But the book is there. Oh, hell. I swear to God, if Bolivar was a politician, oh, hell. He would have been in, I swear, for a field day of a lifetime. Because, oh crap, dealing with people, oh my God, what the hell. And but that's the thing. You need to deal with people to understand the value of your currency. Because you see, try to imagine right now, if you have the US dollar, right? The US dollar is supported by the 50 states of the United States. Now, try to imagine if Texas decides, oh hell, we are not backing up the US dollar. We are creating the Texas dollar. And in Texas, you're dealing with Texas dollar. And if you want to deal with the rest of the country, you can deal with the US dollars. But in here, you need Texas dollar. Try to imagine that for 1 second. Because the Texas government decides, oh yeah, we're not backing up the US dollar. Yeah, I'm sorry, we just aren't. And then, the Florida says, oh hell, if they're doing that, I'm doing that, So all of a sudden, you have like 50 currencies within the US and none of them is the US dollar. And then you are like, what the hell? Yeah, kind of like that. So that is kind of like what is happening in my country, in real life. That's why in some parts of my country, you find gold. And people are dealing only in gold. And in other parts are dealing with monopoly money that they actually created out of thin air. Communities that deal with themselves with not even US dollar or whatever. They deal with their own freaking currency that they created by themselves. So, yes, that is what is happening in my country. Why? Because, like I said, there are 5 huge groups and they all want to be backed up by the Bolivar, but Bolivar didn't pick. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that someone has to come up with a way to reunite these 5 groups and put them together into one. And that can mean a whole new currency not named Bolivar, or it can be a rebirth of the entire, system. And I do mean the rebirth of the entire system, because you see, if you have the same fight with the same 5 people all the time, you are never going to have a stable currency because they are all fighting. You need to come up with an agreement that all are kind of happy with. And I don't mean entirely, like dancing kind of party. I mean like satisfied. Like, okay, I'm doing this if you're doing that. If you're doing this, and if that person is doing that. So for that, oh hell, that, you require politicians. And that is not going to happen anytime soon or easy, because being a politician, you might think that they are evil. You might think that they are, corrupt. You might think that they are, oh crap, you can tell me 1,000, things that are bad about them, and I can tell you that you might or may not be right or wrong or whatever, but the point is that you need them. Because someone has to get their hands dirty trying to figure out how the hell to sit down and make, all these kids, because quite frankly, they're all kids. Somebody has to put their foot down and say, this is what we're doing, period. Deal with that. Yeah, that's not happening that easy, right? Because then everybody will have to agree that this person is trustworthy and this person is, not biased. Okay? Because if this person is biased, the minute that someone in the group says this person is biased and they have proof, not because you say it because of feelings, but because they have proof or something, oh hell, then the deal is off. So no, you can't do that. So it has to be someone that is kind of like a Christian guy that is very, very like integrous kind of guy, like whole. And that, oh hell, we are waiting for that guy. So I'm hoping that he will be here soon. He or she will be here soon. Because, oh crap. I don't think that a lot of people can hold this fort very long. Because there is an internal power for those 5 groups. And the worst part is that people think that there are only 2 groups. People think, yeah, it's the opposition and the government. Oh, hell no, there are 5 freaking groups behind everything that we are dealing with. Now, in your particular country, if you're going to deal with this problem, oh hell, I can assure you that this is going to be a hell of a lot of road, very, very long road, until you can figure out, how the hell to make the balance in the power and the national identity. You need someone that everybody will relate to, even if that person is a tyrant, even if that person, is hated by everyone. The point is that everyone hates him. It doesn't matter if everyone loves him. The point is that everyone kinds of agrees about him or her. So everybody will put power into this person. And because this person is invested with the power, then they will back up the currency. And the currency will be worth a hell of a lot, or it will go down the toilet, depending upon how much you actually believe in this guy. If you believe that he's the roots of all evil and stuff like that, you will probably leave. But if you believe that he is the only one who can deal with the mess, then, you let it be. So right now, we don't have someone that is kind of like that. We just don't. The 5 groups? Oh, hell, no. Because like I said, it's 5. Now, in your country, there are groups that are going to be hidden, and I do mean freaking hidden, within this value of your currency. And that, for that, if you need or want to figure out who the groups are or whatever, then you need to figure out who the hell backed up the first currency and what they were dealing with, because that energy, if it is going down or going up, it is because of that particular energy and that particular sensation that you have. And that sensation or energy, oh hell, that doesn't just disappear. Energy cannot just disappear, so it will stay there. So if the energy, people are like, yeah, the US dollar or whatever is going down the toilet. Yeah, I don't think so. Because like I said, I don't think it will go down the toilet because of 3 things. Number 1, I said this before, location and relationships in the international level. Do you honest to God believe that everybody will be dealing with China instead of, the US? If you believe that everybody will be dealing only with China and nobody will want to deal with the US, never, then, oh hell, China is going to be the new currency thing, and all the other, other countries' currencies are going to go downhill, and nobody knows if they're going downhill or downhill. But if you believe that the US is always going to be, an important partner in the whole planet for the economy, then I can assure you that nobody will allow the US dollar to go down if you're thinking that you are going to lose with them. So hell no. This is why I told you, politics. Politicians are very, very important in this world. They do a lousy job? Oh hell yeah, they do, because they're crazy. But the reason why they're there is that they're crazy. Because if they were completely sane, will you, honest to God, tell me that you will be in a room with 100 people that they don't agree with about anything, and you are going to jump in there trying to make them agree? Oh hell, have you ever tried to agree with your spouse? And that is just one freaking person. And can you make them agree with you? Just one. Now, try to imagine you jumping into trying to agree with 100, and these people, you don't even know them. So, hell no, they're crazy. And like I said, they are crazy because they actually kind of like it. And, it's like insane. So no, stop judging them. I can assure you that they will be judged by their own standard thing, and oh crap, I wouldn't want to be in that position. But the point is that it's like, you believe in your father. Okay, let's say that your father has a house and you have a house, near him, and you always go to your father's house to, trade things or do business with him or whatever. Okay? So he's like your father. You admire him, you like the guy, he has been there supporting you, helping you, whatever. And let's say that right now, you are thinking that he's sick. Of course you're going to run to try to help him out. Because if you don't, then who the hell is going to help you out? Who the hell is going to provide the trade for you? Who the hell is going to teach you a lot of things? Because, by the way, like I said, the currency is based upon value of believing. And that is based upon the relationship with you that you have with these people. And that is why, it's insane. You might think, yeah, but it's also about you printing the money and things like that. Oh, hell, like, you can do that. You can, and you absolutely can. You can, like I said, these government things or countries are like persons. And like I said, people, they can commit suicide. Okay? And if a government decides, oh hell, we are printing all the freaking money that we want just because we can. Oh hell, they can. And then it will be like you having a mentally ill person in your group, and then you don't know what the hell to do with them. And then, you might commit them into an institution or something, meaning you will restrict them and you will try to avoid being with them and stuff like that. That can happen. If the US decides to, just all of a sudden print all the money that they want, to, say that they owe, I don't know, let's say that they owe me $10 and they go and print it, and then you said, here, you can have your $10, and that way, they get rid of all of the debt. Oh, hell. That can happen, and they will go crazy, and that will go nuts in the entire economy. But I have a question. Do you, honest to God, believe that, that the politicians are that kind of, suicidal kind of mentally ill thing? Because if you do, then you better get to currencies that are stable with leaders that you believe that they are not going to do that. Because it's kind of like you putting money into somebody else's hand. If you are giving them money, lend it or whatever, and you think that these people are not going to pay you back, and then it's like a tension, and it is going to be like a war or something, that is going to also affect the value of your currency. And that means that internally, that person is going to experience inflation. Now, hyperinflation will happen when everybody, it's like, so let's say that, I don't know, these things that I have in my hand are poison. And then, somebody in the groups, like internationally and stuff, they go like, yeah, I'm eating this, blah, blah. And everybody is like, what the hell, you're eating poison, blah, blah, blah. And then, this person said, oh my God, I didn't know they were poison. So people will tell you, right now, they're crazy, they're eating poison. Yes, but if the person says, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that they were poison, so I'm going to leave them and stuff like that, then, it's kind of like, by the moment, you had like a bumpy thing, because, somebody will try to give you, anti-poison and stuff, the antidote and stuff, and, you might try to get yourself better. But let's say that, now everybody starts realizing that the reason why you ate that thing is because you're going crazy. But nobody will tell you. Because if they say this person is going crazy, oh hell, and then you are wrong, would you like to be in that position? Because you see, if this person is not going crazy and they prove that this was an accident, oh hell, it's kind of like that. However, if I think this person drank this and they're crazy, yeah, I better, just try to get away from them because I think that they're crazy. And then other people are like, yeah, I believe that they're crazy, I believe that they're crazy, I believe that they're crazy. And other people are like, yeah, kind of like whispering, right? But if all of a sudden someone that is big or something and powerful says, hey, you are crazy and you're insane and you took this on purpose and I can prove it because, I had a psychiatric evaluation from you and you're insane. Oh, that you are going to experience hyperinflation like insane until someone says you are legally and mentally sane. That can take a while. Oh, hell. In some countries, it can take months. Some countries can take, a couple of, I don't know, years or something, sometimes even less, because it has never been this long. But in my country, there is no way to tell who is insane and who is sane, because like I said, we have 5 different kind of groups, and everybody's thinking that they are 2. They are not 2, they are 5 groups. So It's like you have 5 groups and you don't know what the hell. That's why you always want to try to have 2 parties. Or maybe 3, but no more than that. Because if you have, let's say that in the US, you have the Republicans and the Democrats, right? And then, they might be independent parties, meaning a third party. But let's say that now you have Republicans and you have, let's say Republicans A, Republicans B, then you have Democrats A, and then you have Democrats B, and then you have independent, and then you're like, what the hell? Yeah, if you have that, who is going to be responsible for your mental health? As in the entire thing that is backing up the currency. Nobody. Because it's like, who? What? Nobody wants to work with you. If nobody wants to work with you, then why will they take your money? The reason why you are taking US dollars when you get a job, and you are happy about it, is because you know that with that money, you can buy things. You are backed up by the US government. If something goes wrong, you can go to the government and say, hey, something went wrong, and I need you to fix it. And they might be able to help you out with that. Yes, they might be able to help you out too much because sometimes people will complain about nothing. People sometimes are bored, and sometimes they will actually care about, the color of a wall,